In today's world, many of us as leaders actually feel the weight of carrying not just the business success, but also the power of the fragile trust that our clients have placed not only in our organizations or our brands, but also in us. Interestingly, just one misstep, if any form of misstep, no matter how minute or small, can shatter that trust. If you are worried about how any misstep or any security incident could tarnish the years of hard earned reputation that you have taken the time to build, you are not alone. Today's conversation is for you. It's another beautiful Thursday. You're welcome to SMB Cyber Live. I hope you had an amazing week. I hope your week has been productive. I hope your week has gone very well. I need you to think of your reputation like an intricately designed or crafted glass sculpture. That's how I need you to look at your reputation. And that glass sculpture is actually placed in a gallery by a gallery owner. You are supposedly the gallery owner. Now, in this situation, if you need your customers to have trust in you, you need to ensure that that glass sculpture is kept safe. That glass sculpture is kept very well. It does not have any problems. It does not have any tarnishes. It does not have any cracks. So, what you're going to do in this instance is that you're going to take some leadership actions in order to keep that sculpture safe. You could decide to put it in a protective case and then add some security measures around it, which is most likely what you're going to do anyway. If for any reason the protective case that you decide to keep the glass sculpture in has a problem and then it affects the sculpture, there is going to be a bigger problem. Or if the security measures you have put around that glass sculpture is lax, there is going to be a bigger problem. That exactly is what your reputation looks like. I need you to imagine your reputation as the glass sculpture. It is not about the glass sculpture because what you are keeping safe in this instance is the security measures as well as the the security measures as well as the protective case in which the glass sculpture is being kept. It's not about the glass sculpture at this time, it's about the security measures and the protective case because that is what you have to protect in order to protect the glass sculpture. For you to be able to protect your reputation, you need to put some leadership actions in place. Now, you need to invest in some certain things. You need to invest in some certain steps. You need to invest in some certain actions in order to ensure that your reputation is kept safe. Most of what you need to do actually has to do with what is constant care. You need to do with transparent communication. You have to also think about how you respond quickly to threats. At the same time, you need to proactively protect through honesty, accountability, as well as proactive engagement. A few months ago, we actually had one of my clients. We had a client. At that point in time, it was not a client, but they had an issue, which was the fact that it was an incident, was almost causing a breach. And at that point in time, that was when they brought us in. But one of the things I learned during that consultation was the fact that the CEO is a very decisive man. I love the way he took action. And even though everyone was overwhelmed, there was a lot of panic, uncertainty started spreading amongst even the team, even the staff members. It was already almost getting to the clients who were already hearing rumors. But rather than retreat, the CEO took an action that I learned from. It was the fact that it did not only openly strengthen the security practices. No, He ensured that he involved the clients in the recovery efforts. He ensured that he was making accountability a very core value at that point in time. And I got to understand what he was doing, because through that process, he ensured that he did not only garner the trust of the clients that he was dealing with, but it was a total transformation from crisis to what is called a place of credibility for that organization. At that point in time, they didn't lose the clients because the clients felt like they were part of the process. The clients felt like, oh, they carried us along, we know what is going on. Yes, they didn't know a lot about a lot of the technical details, but they still felt like they were part of the process and they thought nothing was hidden from them. Transparency actually helped that organization to move from that place of crisis to a high point of credibility. You need to understand that your reputation is not just about being able to prevent incidents. No, it is about how you can lead through them, how you communicate, and how you build lasting trust. Many people believe that the best way for them to be able to protect their reputation is actually either to hide the problems or deny failures. At the end of the day, this leads to a damaged trust, and it leads to what is called lost clients, lost trusts when these issues start surfacing. So, as a leader, I will encourage you to put yourself in what is called a place of accountability, a place of transparency. You need to combine authentic leadership with transparent, proactive communication, because that is what will help you to build unshakable trust. And at the same time, it is going to help you move from that midst of challenges to those leadership actions that you can take so that trust will keep scaling. All you are looking at this time is how to ensure that you keep scaling trust with your clients. So let us look at some of the steps that we could actually take today as a leader. I want us to look at some of the leadership actions that you should be taking as a leader in order to ensure that you do not lose the trust that your clients have in you. Like I said initially, number one, you need to prioritize transparency. It's very, very important. I want you to commit to honesty as well as remember the word I want to use. I do not only want you to commit to honest but transparent communication. The word I just used is honest but transparent communication, not only with your team but also with your clients, even when the news is not a good one. Even when the news is not perfect, you still need to communicate transparently and honestly. That's the first way that you earn respect. Then the second thing that you have to do is ensure that you engage your own team. Charity begins at home. If there is already a problem inside of your own organization, it's going to transfer outside of the organization. What that means is that if you are unable to actually earn the trust of your own team members, of your own staff members, it's going to be very hard to garner the trust of your clients. So, what I need you to do at this point in time is ensure that you align your entire organization around what is called a proactive security culture as well as accountability. Everyone on the team needs to stay accountable. Nobody should be running away from responsibilities. Nobody should be running away from whatever is coming. Accountability is extremely important. Then, number three, I need you to embed security into your culture. I think over time we have talked about this. Is the fact that you need to start demonstrating your commitment to security visibly. It's something that everyone needs to see. Just looking at your culture, looking at what is happening within your organization, they need to understand that cybersecurity is actually a core value, one of the core things that is emphasized within your organization, it needs to be a culture that everyone on your team should be embracing. It should be a value that everyone on your team should be embracing. Even when somebody from outside sees it, they should understand that cybersecurity is a value that is recognized within this organization. Then, number four, I need you to look at what is called a crisis communication plan. You need to develop one, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you think about it. You need a crisis communication plan. It's very important that you are prepared with a clear messaging as well as the roles ever before an incident happens. You need to write your plan. This is what is going to happen when this happens. This is what we are going to do when this happens. This is what we are going to say in case this happens. There has to be a procedure, a process. There has to be a messaging that is extremely clear, that everyone within your organization understands, and people need to know their roles. They need to know what they should be doing in case of a crisis. That is why it is called a crisis communication plan. Everybody needs to know how they're supposed to talk to the press, how you're supposed to talk to law enforcement, how you're speaking with the clients, how you are supposed to respond to the questions. It's a crisis communication plan. Before anything ever happens, you need to put a plan in place. Then number five, I need you to take ownership. This is why this is one of the places where I've discovered there is a lot of challenge. People don't want to be responsible or stay accountable. So I need you to set what is called your clear expectations for accountability. At the same time, you need to personally own client relationships, not just yourself, but your team members. Everyone needs to stay accountable during an incident. That will not only show empathy, but will also show responsibility. And it will let people know that you are not only presenting a united front, but you know what you are doing. It shows that you have empathy as one of the core values of your organization, as well as accountability and honesty. Accountability is extremely important. Ensure that you take ownership. Number six, during the last session, I explained that one of the biggest challenges that we have in the SMB space is the fact that we do not have what is referred to as a maintenance culture. I need you to invest in continuous improvements. Don't think about it, don't negotiate it, don't overthink it. Continuous improvements are extremely important. It's not a one-time thing. Just the fact that you have done something at this time does not mean you don't want to continue to look it over and over and over. You need to think about how you are going to put in improvements continuously, how you are going to be communicating them, how you can allocate resources so that the cybersecurity challenges or the risk that is evolving or coming up, how you can put defenses in place in order to either mitigate or eliminate them proactively. At the same time, you need to show your customers that your protection that you are putting in place is a dynamic one. It's not static. It's not something that is a one-time thing that you do and then you let it go. No, that's not the way it works. You need to show that you are constantly improving on your cybersecurity defenses. At the same time, I need you to regularly update your clients. It's very important on what you are doing in order to prevent further issues as well as enhance security. Once there is a breach within your organization, you have become what is called a suspect. No matter how you look at it, even when you don't lose your customers, you're at the edge of losing them. The trust that they used to have in you is shaky. It's no longer standing on solid ground. So you need to reinforce and ensure that you are constantly updating them. You are constantly updating them on the measures that you are taking in to ensure that whatever happened at that point in time to cause the breach will not happen again. I'm not saying that there's a possibility it will not happen. But the truth of the matter is, if you are putting defenses in place, if you are putting actions in place, if you are putting measures in place in order to ensure that it does not happen again, everyone will know that you actually made not only the move, you put in your best to ensure that there was no problem. It just happened. Then number 7, it's very important that you are not only educating your team members, but also your staff members. Not only your team members and your staff members. Now, in this instance, when I'm talking about a team, I'm talking about everyone, whether they are full-time staff, whether they are part-time staff, whether they are consultants, anyone that is working with and for your organization needs to be educated. And when we are talking about education for your team members, you also need to educate your clients. You need to help them understand how the threats are coming up and how your own organization is helping to protect the interest of your clients. In the same way, when you are educating not only your team members but your clients, you are turning everyone into what is called informed partners. Everyone feels like they are a part of not only the process but a part of the team. That way, it enhances the trust they have in your reputation. Now, you need to understand that the higher the level of trust that your clients have in you, the more they will buy from you, the more they will recommend you, the more referrals that you will get from other people, and the more they will base solely on everything they are going to do. I have seen some people that over the years, they've never changed the brand of toothpaste that they use. They've never changed the brand of seasoning that they use. Not necessarily because they don't know other ones, but because there is a high level of trust that those brands have developed and put inside of them, that they become so reluctant to change it, even when the prices change. I know as a young kid, we used to use close up in my family. And for years, that was all I knew. And I used, even when I saw other brands, I would always go for close up because that was not just what I was used to. I had developed some level of trust in them, believing that there was no other form of toothpaste that could keep my breath fresh or make my teeth white because of the level of trust I had in them. Interestingly, I don't use that anymore because I can't find that in the country where I am. But I'm just helping you to understand the fact that changing the toothpaste took a process, mainly because I had gathered a lot of trust, a belief. It was an unconscious belief, but I had gathered some belief inside of that brand over the years. And that is the kind of reputation that you want to create with your clients. Now, even when something happens that causes a mistake, you still want to ensure that that trust, even though it is on shaky grounds, it does not falter, it does not wave, it does not go away totally, it is not damaged. Once the trust goes away, you will not only lose your reputation, you will lose the trust of that customer. And by losing the customer, you are losing what is called customer churn. You are losing the respect of that customer. You are losing the money coming from that customer. You are losing the referrals coming from that customer. You are losing your reputation totally. So what we are trying to do right now is to ensure that you do not lose your reputation. I want you to understand that protecting your reputation is actually a continuous journey, and it is one that requires strategic support as well as expert guidance. So it is up to you as a leader to make strategic decisions that will move the reputation of your organization from a level that is at the lowest to one that is high. What we are talking about is how to use trust to build a reputation that scales. If you can gain a reputation with your customer, like I already said, if you can gain a reputation with your clients that does not waver, it will scale, mainly because they will not only buy from you, they will refer people to you, they will talk about you in places Word of mouth is one of the strongest ways by which people buy. We live in a world where people will ask questions. If you are talking about, oh, do this, the first question someone will ask you is, have you used it? How is it working for you? So you need to understand that the more that you garner a good reputation and build a high level of trust, it will help your business scale. I want us to actually look at the question. There was a question I know that a lot of customers usually ask when they are talking about how they should be using trust to build a reputation in their organization that customers will fall in love with. I decided to bring that question today so that we can answer that on this session. You see, and that question was, as a leader, how can I balance transparency with the need to control sensitive information during a cybersecurity incident? One of the first things that you need to know during a cybersecurity incident is the fact that there is a lot of overwhelm happening during that period. But if you have a crisis communication plan in place, that's one of the reasons why you need an incident response plan and as well as a crisis communication plan, because it's going to allow you to know what you are supposed to talk about and what you're not supposed to talk about. When we are talking about transparency, you need to understand that transparency does not mean divulging technical details. No, that's not what we are talking about. We are talking about sharing timely, accurate, and relevant information that reassures your clients that their concerns are prioritized. That's what it means. It does not mean sharing technical details. Now, you need to understand that as a leader, you need to coordinate with the legal team as well as your communication team to look at the clear messages that you should be presenting. When the issue happens, you don't have to run away from it. You have to acknowledge it. Yes. But what kind of message should you be presenting? You need to acknowledge the issue without exposing vulnerabilities, without telling them, these are the problems we have, these are the technical details. Just acknowledge the issue. Then you need to understand that the key is actually honesty. You need to be honest. Talk about what you know, talk about what is being done, but you need to protect sensitive operational details, especially when it comes to the technical details, because if you divulge them, they can still aid the attackers. All right. So it is very important that the information that you are presenting is just timely, accurate, but relevant information that reassures your clients that their concerns are prioritized. You have put them at the back of your mind. You are putting them in mind. You are letting them know that whatever concerns they have, you are speaking to it, you are working on it, you are working with it. No matter the kind of concerns they have at any point in time, you are not letting it go away because you are already addressing them. You just need to help them understand the fact that you are addressing their concerns. That is what they need to know. Technical details are not important. Technical details should not be divulged. Now, what should we be doing today? You know, I always like to give you homework. This is what I need you to do today as a leader. Number one, I need you to start by reviewing what your current communication protocols for cybersecurity looks like. Not necessarily for a breach. Your cybersecurity protocols within your organization, I need you to do a review and look at what they currently look like. Then number two, I need you to identify just one leadership action that you are going to take in order to improve transparency or client engagement in this month, just this month of November. Tell me one leadership action you intend to take. You don't have to tell me, just work on it. What is the leadership action that you intend to take in order to improve client communication, in order to improve transparency in order to improve client engagement in this month. Then number three, I need you to start empowering your own team members with the mindset that by protecting the reputation of your organization, it is not only the job of the leaders, it is the job of everyone within the organization, from the lowest level to the top, from the top to the lowest levels. Even the janitors, even the gatekeepers, everyone needs to understand that protecting the organization's reputation is everyone's responsibility. I want you to remember that your reputation will reflect your leadership. But at the same time, if you lead from a place of transparency, a place of accountability, as well as a place of empathy, you'll be creating what is called a resilient foundation of trust that does not only stand firm but never wavers even when storms arise. I need you to build a reputation that, in my language, they will say stand kampe. No matter what is happening, you are standing firm no matter how much storm is raging or arising. I want to appreciate everyone for joining in again today. Thank you again for joining in this session. Don't forget to send in your questions. This is a community where we are not only helping each other grow, we are helping us strengthen our defenses. I love answering your questions. Everyone here, we also want to learn from you as we answer the questions. I want you to know that as a leader, I do not just want you to protect your reputation by leading boldly. No, that's not what I want you to do. I need you to remember that by protecting your reputation, your clients are depending on it. I'll see you again on Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to join in. Have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful weekend. Don't forget to review your current client communication processes as well as protocols today so that you know how you can improve on your client engagement as well as transparency for this month. I'll see you on Tuesday. Have an amazing weekend.